I worked at a company, and it had gone through a couple rounds of layoffs while I was there. And so at one point we had a training department, and then by the end of it, I was the only person left in the training department. So I was the training department. And during one of those rounds of layoffs, they hired consultants to do all the layoffs, okay? And they brought me into the room and they said, okay, we're going to have you help us with this. Of course, I thought I'm getting fired, but they said, we're going to have you help us with this. So what your job is to, when someone's gotten laid off, your job is to walk back to their desk with them, help them gather their things and leave. So I don't know what you call me, the bouncer. I don't know what I was in this case, okay? You're not laughing at me. The idea of me being a bouncer is funny. Humorous.
A little bit.
I suppose so. So anyway, the way they did it was, because I've seen this done so many different ways. I can't say I've ever seen it done well, but I've seen it done lots of ways. The way this particular method was done was we're gonna call, everyone's gonna come in the morning, Monday morning, not know what's going on, and then we're gonna kind of pull and ask people to go to certain rooms, and there'll be a consultant sitting there. Consultant will deliver the message to them, and then they'll leave. Well, what really struck me in that process was, in the moment of being laid off, because I ended up being part of 3 or 4 of those, people responded very differently to it. It was kind of like all stages of grief. So some people immediately were like in denial. They were like, no, this can't be happening. Mm-hmm. And they just got up and left. They were like, no. Other people were like, let's negotiate. They were like, I'm sure we can work out a deal. Let's figure this out. Other people were angry. They were mad. They were pissed off. They were like throwing stuff down and stomping around. And then one person I remember, they were like, thank you. I've been wanting to quit for years. I just couldn't get enough. I didn't have a good reason or really anything other. And I've always wanted to travel, and now I'm going to go travel.
Yeah.
This was like my excuse. And speaking of dysfunction, one of the individuals they let go, they had already gone through one round of layoffs, and they had fired this person. Well, a few months after that, they hired her back. And then the next round of layoffs, fired her again. So she got fired twice in 1 year.
Oh, goodness.
Isn't that horrible? Horrible.